Hello, I'm Dave Marquardt from Skeeter Boat Center in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and this is the all-new 2012 MX 1825 from Skeeter. The Skeeter MX 1825 started a little over 2 years ago as, frankly, just a blank sheet of paper. We sat down and really asked the question, how do you build the ultimate 18-foot fishing boat? And after taking input from expert fishermen that fish all different species, the engineers at Skeeter, Skeeter management, dealers, all the stakeholders that are involved with Skeeter had input into this project, and this is what we've ended up with. A beautiful multi-species fishing boat. So when you design or attempt to design the ultimate 18-foot fishing boat, you really have to start with design principles. And for this project, there were actually 5 design principles. From the very beginning, this had to be a true multi-species fishing platform. Regardless of what species that you were going to go fishing for, whether it be panfish, walleye, bass, muskie, pike, nearshore salmon even, this boat needed to be able to do it all and do it well. The second design principle that the engineers took into consideration when designing this boat has to do with hull performance and precision. The first thing the Skeeter engineers were looking for was a smooth, dry ride. And so the hull is designed to cut the water and offer that smooth, dry ride. So no matter if you're fishing in 2 or 3 footers, you're going to be able to still enjoy your day on the water. The second aspect of this boat is that it was designed to fish very close to the water. And by that, what we mean is that when you come down off plane and you're setting up to do your fishing, we wanted the hull to lay very flat, with the surface of the water to minimize the profile that was exposed to the wind. This will allow you to have maximum boat control when fishing and also allow it to be easier for you to handle your fish as you hook up with fish. And the final aspect of the performance design was speed. And what the engineers wanted to do was hit 50 miles an hour with the Yamaha 4-stroke 150. And they actually accomplished that objective in spades. The third design principle that the engineers took a look at when designing this boat has to do with interior spaciousness. And the boat measures overall, the MX 1825 is 18 feet 4 inches long, and it has a beam of 97 inches. That's the widest part of the boat, and the beam is about here in the center of the boat. When we took a look at the interior, there were a couple of very important priorities. Number one priority was interior cockpit space on the floor. And so we ended up with almost 80 inches of interior floor space with this model. The second dimension or factor that we were considering, obviously if you're going to be a true multi-species fishing platform, you need a rear casting deck. So we designed in, the engineers put in a rear casting deck that actually measures 39 inches from the back of the boat to the front of the casting platform. And so it's a very generous rear casting space. And then the front bow was set up to really frankly have what's left over in the boat, but yet the way that it was organized, there's a surprising amount of room available in the front bow. And believe it or not, you can actually fit a rod up to 8 feet long under that bow. So this boat is like, the interior of this boat is really like a Swiss watch. They've done amazing things to fit all of these features into this 18-foot 4-inch fishing platform. The one last feature that was important in having a true multi-species fishing platform as it has to do with the interior is the rear live well. So it was decided very early on that there needed to be a 50-inch live well inside the boat. So the rear casting platform has ample space to allow that 50-inch live well to sit inside the boat. The multi-species large live well was an important part of the design. The fourth principle that was crucial to the design of this fishing boat has to do with storage. The design principles with regards to storage was that, number one, we need to utilize every nook and cranny on this boat in order to find storage. So in the gunnels, under the rear decks, under the front decks, every place there's a spot, the Skeeter engineers designed in very, very resourceful storage. The other important storage aspect of this is we wanted lockable rod locker storage for rods that were in excess of 8 feet. And so the engineers have accomplished that objective as well. And the final objective really has to do with you. And what the Skeeter engineers wanted to do is design a boat that offered tremendous value and performance for the money. And this boat is loaded with standard features. Great features that were designed by fishermen to make your day on the water the best it could possibly be. And what the Skeeter engineers are hoping for is that when you come back from a day on the water, you're going to say to yourself, man, do I love my Skeeter. At the back of the boat, you can clearly see that this boat is powered by a 150 horsepower 4-stroke Yamaha. And the prop on that motor is the Reliance series. It's a stainless steel prop, and it's the top performance prop, and that comes standard. And this particular motor will push the 1825 at over 50 miles per hour with a load. Optional is you can get a 200 horsepower motor, and that's a 2-stroke HPDI, and the performance on that, depending on how you load it down, is going to be in the mid-50s for top end speed. And then there is also a base package 115 horsepower motor available as well. From a performance standpoint, there's really 2 features here at the back of the boat that I'd like to point out as it relates to hull design. The first feature is this relief. And if you notice, there's a cutout here that's probably 8 inches deep. You know, it goes back in there pretty far. And what that cutout does is actually reduces the amount of drag at the back of the boat, which enables the boat to go faster at top end. And of course, the engineers have to balance the speed versus the hole shot. There's compromise in those design features with the hull, and we feel that the engineers have really hit the sweet spot with the combination of speed and hole shot. The second feature, as it relates to hull design back here, has to do with the width of the boat. And if you look, the water line is going to be right about here on the boat as it lays very flat to the water. And so the measurement from the outside edge of the starboard side to the port side, going all the way across, it's 89 inches wide. And what that means to you is when you're standing up here on this deck and walking around, honestly, it feels like you're walking on a dock. The boat is very, very stable, and it'll only move an inch or two at max in the water with 2 or 3 people walking to the side of the boat. So the way that this hull is designed at the rear is really going to contribute to your fishing experience. So there you have it, the all-new 2012 Skeeter MX-1825. What a fabulous fishing boat. And at Skeeter Boat Center, we think one of the best ways to shop for a boat is to take a test drive. So we'd like to invite you to come out to our dealership in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin and take a test drive in one of these great new boats. We've got a fleet, single consoles, dual consoles, 150s, 200s. We've got whatever configuration you want to test drive, plus we're going to have the largest selection of Skeeter MX-1825s on the planet. So check us out at SkeeterBoatCenter.com. You'll be glad you did.